Okay, today's class is about guiding adolescents through crisis. This is a structural framework for identifying warning signs, navigating boundaries, and safely intervening. As we all know that adolescents form part of the vulnerable groups. Next page, please. Here we are talking about the behavioral traps versus the crisis lens. This assists us to move away from the labeling behavior, rather look at it as a crisis. So we are shifting focus from being judgmental to categorizing and understanding the situation as it is. With regard to the behavioral trap, we are looking at they are acting out rather than they are overwhelming. So with regard to the behavioral trap, we are looking at to say they are acting out, but with the crisis lens, when we look at it as a crisis, we are saying they are overwhelmed. With regard to the behavioral trap, we are saying they are being difficult. While with the crisis lens, we are saying they are protecting themselves. With the behavioral traps, we are saying they are seeking attention. While with the crisis lens, we say they lack coping mechanism. Remember, it is one of our basic skills as professionals to always be non-judgmental. Instead, we need to show the clients we understand they are going through a specific situation. And we can only do that through basic empathy. Here we are talking about the auxiliary social worker role radius. We have so far done a lot about stakeholders or referral network as we cannot work in isolation. So here we are given a circle of referral. They are calling it a referral network. Remember, as social auxiliary workers, we are only competent in our field. We are competent with what we are doing. With regard to the rest, we should consider working with other stakeholders, refer other cases to other stakeholders for assistance, since they are also competent in what they are doing. For an example, in case of maybe abuse, you should refer the client to the clinic, to the South African police services. So with regard to this referral network, they are talking about our mandates, of which one of those mandates of social auxiliary workers is identifying the issue, recognizing the problem, providing appropriate support, documenting concerns in form of an intake. Previously, we did case management where we spoke about intake template, process note, and referral letters. We do have the CW forms. That's what we are talking about here. And then you do what? You connect the young person, meaning you refer that a specific person or that specific client that you'll be dealing with to other people. On this cycle, we are also given some other stakeholders like law enforcement, specialized social workers. Obviously, we are working along as auxiliary workers. We are working along with social workers. We are supporting social workers and working under the supervision of social workers. We are given psychologists when there's a need for that specific client to see a psychologist. Obviously, you will refer. We are having medical services, clinics, Department of Health, hospitals, and whatsoever. You don't need to have all the answers to be helpful. Your primary job is to intercept, stabilize, and connect. Adolescent pressure system. Adolescents encounter pressure or challenges on different environment. They encounter pressures that deeply impact their mental health and behavioral development. All these stresses fit into one another. Okay, here we are given the adolescent pressure ecosystem. If you can have a look there, we are given adolescents and all the environment or some of the environments around the adolescents, some of the environment that are causing stresses to adolescent. First of all, we are given the digital or online platform. Under digital or online platform, they are talking about cyberbullying. We are all aware, since we are on social media, of what is happening on Facebook, social media pressure, sexting, and digital risk, online exploitation. We are also given a home environment stressors such as family expectations and conflict. For an example, when the family expect you to, to pass with flying colors from school or something like that one, unemployment and poverty within families, signs of abuse or neglect. We are also having social or internal stressors, peer pressure, unhealthy relationships, academic pressure, substance use, risk taking behavior. If I may ask, what are other stressors that you could think of? Can anyone give us other stressors that she or he could think of? Yes, Laminda.
Another stress that an adolescent could have is starting, let's say, a part-time job to make
Mm,
some small change, and the pressure from the job and school or home life getting to them as well.
okay. Thank you very much. There was one of the cases that I was busy dealing with, whereby the client was a single mom raising three children, and she was working in one of the restaurant around. So seeing that she was not able, like she couldn't make enough money to support the family, she had to agree to another job, like a side a piece job, whereby after she knocked off from her 9 to 5, she then again have to work from 8 up until 12. Then, as a result, this affected the children. The children were no longer performing well because there's no one to assist them with homework from home. Sometimes they wake up very late. As a result, they are so late at school. So the school started complaining that the children are coming to school late, and the children coming to school with homeworks not done. Thank you very much for that input, Laminda. I see you raised your hand again.
Yes, there's a comment from Christine in the chat box. She says unexpected change in circumstances, perhaps moving to a new
Yes.
area or moving in with family or others due to financial stress or divorce.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Please, yeah, just let me know because I'm not using my laptop. I'm using my phone. So that might be a little bit challenging. I cannot see everything from the screen. Thank you very much, Laminda.
No problem, I'm here to help.
Okay. Crisis rarely stem from a single isolated event. It is the friction caused when multiple pressure overlap. The diagnostic threshold matrix. Normal adolescent
Sorry, Lisbeth.
development.
Sorry, Lisbeth. Are we still on the right slide?
No, next slide, please. Sorry, Lien. Yes, now we are talking about diagnostic threshold matrix. Normal adolescent development versus the crisis warning sign. So here they are saying it is normal if they are seeking identity, independence, and privacy. Whereas it is a warning if they suddenly withdraw from friends or family or running away from home. It is normal if they are navigating emotional changes and mood swings. And it becomes a crisis if there is extreme emotional distress, statements suggesting hopelessness or an inability to cope. It is normal if they are managing academic pressure and peer belonging. Or else it becomes a crisis if there is school absenteeism. Like I said, with the case that I just told you about, when the school realized that there was a high number of absenteeism, they then involved a social worker to say, please work with the family because we don't understand what is happening. Declining performance. The children were no longer doing homeworks. So meaning that they were performing bad, being bullied or bullying others. It is normal when they are experimenting and mild risk taking. Where else it becomes a crisis if there is significant personality changes, aggression or frequent conflict, substance use, severe risky behavior. I think I saw something. I don't know if there's someone who's trying to write something from the chat box.
Yes, there was a student. They said they believed in the wrong class. I just confirmed to them that this is social auxiliary.
Or they were in the wrong class.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Thank you very much, Lien. We can go to the next page. Here we are talking about the crisis chain reaction. We are given 3 phases of the crisis chain reaction. This crisis chain reaction operates as an escalating sequence where initial triggers compound systemic failure dissected through the mechanics of accumulation, manifestation, and disrupt. With regard to phase 1, which is a pressure, they say modern challenge builds up. This is early warning signs or stressors that create tensions. Phase 2, the output, warning signs. Normal development crosses the threshold into observable distress. Here, there is a critical threshold which has been breached and releasing cascade failure. Phase number 3, the interception, auxiliary social worker response. This is your intervention. The insertion point for the auxiliary social worker leads directly into the next framework, listen and boundaries. Here you come up with a strategic plan, a strategic intervention to stabilize the situation, which might lead to a recovery. The intervention playbook. The same phase 1, the investigative phase. Focus here is observation and de-escalation. We are given the word listen as part of the intervention. Remember, it's one of your skills as an auxiliary worker. First thing that you are going to do in order for you to identify the problem is to give the client that opportunity to explain to you what is the problem, like whatever that she is going through. You are going to listen attentively. So with regard to listen, they uh, they are saying the letter L stand for looking for changes, notice sudden shift, not isolated action. With regard to I, initiate a safe conversation, create a non-judgmental space. With regard to S, stay calm and listen. Listen attentively, so absorb without immediately fixing. T, take their concerns seriously. Use basic empathy to acknowledge their experience. Validate their reality. Explain. E, explain what happens next. Ensure transparency and trust. Be clear with whatever steps that you are going to take in order for you to assist the client. Do not make the promise that you cannot keep. Remember, you are only competent in your field. So do what you can do with regard to what you are mandated to do. And if you are not competent in that field, the rule is refer to the other stakeholders. The last letter, which is a, notify or refer to the appropriate professional when necessary. Execute the auxiliary social worker mandate. Collaborate with other stakeholders. Next page, please. We are given a scenario here. It's about a 15-year-old who tells you something serious and says, I will only tell you if you promise not to tell anyone. So in a scenario like this one, I'm just trying to understand from the rest of the group, like, what do you do if you come across a scenario like this one? What do you do? Ntombi,
Tombi, if you want to answer, you're muted. We can't hear you.
anyone to give a try? What do you do if you come across a 15-year-old who's telling you that I will only tell you if you promise not to tell anyone?
Good evening, guys. Can I give it a try?
Yes, please.
Um, I think are we talking in terms of you are now a social worker and a 15-year-old is coming to you in order to confide or is family? I'm sorry, I joined the class late.
Okay. Yes, I
So,
want to
but
know. Sorry, Bule. I want to know, you are a social auxiliary worker and you come across this client. She comes to your office maybe for the very first time, and she's telling you that I will only tell you if you promise not to tell anyone. What do you do?
okay, well, I think it's only best to go with what they're saying, to go with that promise and actually promise them that you will not tell anyone so that you can listen to whatever it is that the 15-year-old has to say, but also bearing in mind that this is still a minor. And then again, after hearing what he or she says, you can then take it from there in terms of the seriousness of that particular issue. But I guess the only thing will be to actually promise that you won't tell anyone in order for them to open up and tell you whatever the case is.
Thank you very much, Bule. Imagine you have already told a 15-year-old one that you you already promised her that you're not gonna tell anyone, and she's telling you that I want to kill my mom. When I live here, actually, I'm going to kill my mom. How are you going to handle a situation like this one? What are you going to do now that you have already promised her that I won't tell anyone?
Oh, that's quite serious. But I think the only way would be to try and keep her away from the parent that she wants to kill. Try and keep them away while also trying to get to understand what it is that actually led her to even thinking of killing the parent, what happened,
Mhm.
and maybe trying to assist her in a way and trying to get if she can go to whether it is a relative or a friend's house for a time being, so that she can maybe, if the child is angry, so that she can try and calm down and, in a sense, maybe try and be back to her senses, and just um also let her know that this is something that is quite serious. Also let them know of the consequences of actually murdering someone, even just saying it out, how serious it is, and even um, attempting to murder someone is a serious case. I think that that would assist in a way.
Okay. Thank you very much. Anyone would like to give a try? Anyone would like to try?
I don't mind stepping in here. Is this for the first question or the seriousness of
The
the
first
murdering
question.
your mother?
What do you do in a situation like this one? What would you do?
I would go off of what Bule said with n- okay, I wouldn't promise to keep the information from anyone if it is a serious situation. I would tell the minor that depending on the information that is given to me, we can talk it out and go from there. But necessarily, if it is a serious matter where the minor needs help with something or they're in a difficult situation and they came to me because they don't know who else to talk to, I would tell them, listen here, I'll keep you safe in this situation. But if more help is needed, we will have to bring in more help.
Okay. Thank you very much. If you come across a situation like this one, thank you very much for your input, guys. I really appreciate. Remember to create a safe space. Remember, you need to gain trust for this 15-year-old one to be able to share what is happening in her life, to be able to share her experience. You need to create a safe space. Be there. Show her that you are there to listen to whatever experience. Explain your role. This person should be aware that, okay, I'm dealing with this person. And as an auxiliary worker, you know very well that after you have done whatever that you have done, you are working with a social worker that you will then have to refer the case to him or her. So explain your role and explain what what could happen somewhere along the line. Do not promise what you cannot keep. Always be truthful, be transparent. Explain confidentiality. This person comes to you for counseling. She's telling you, I will only tell you this if you promise that you are not going to tell anyone. And she's coming to you and telling you that I want to kill my mom today. If you are going to take this child and say, okay, I'm going to save a guide you today by keeping you at the aunt's place, this mom is going to come to your house looking for her daughter. She'll end up in counsel because where is my child? So those are the risks that we will be working under. We are actually working under. So we need to be aware of each and every action that we are taking. Explain confidentiality. Tell her that I understand what you are saying, and I understand where your experience. And like, I would like to promise you that I am not going to share this information with anyone, but there is a limit. There will be, if there is a need to break confidentiality simply because of the risks that information that you happen to get from that specific client is becoming risky, you will then have to involve some of the people. Even if you're not going to share the whole information, but you need to at least inform her that in case there is something of a great concern, I will then need to do something. I will then need to share with other people, even if you are not going to share the whole information that she just shared with you. I don't know if we are still together. Are we still fine?
I'm fine on my side.
Thank you very much. The confidentiality balance scale. This is what I just explained. This is some of the things that you explained. They are talking about, this is a scale of which they are talking about a therapeutic alliance and trust, building rapport, listening to the client, understanding her experience the way she understands it. This is where the introduction, this is the first step. You introduce yourself, you do an intake, you explain confidentiality as bedrock of therapy. With regard to the limits of confidentiality, remember to outline this on a first session. Inform the client about the limits of confidentiality. This has to do with the professional boundaries. Make sure that explicit boundaries established from the word go, from the first time you see the client. You need to explain that you are mandated to report in case there is a risk, or you can only share minimum information for mitigation. With regard to safeguarding and duty of care, remember, if there is a risk, then there's a limit for confidentiality. And then there is a need for safeguarding and a duty of care, protecting the adolescent from harm. Prioritize immediate protection over privacy, meaning at this present moment, you know what, unfortunately, we have breached it because there is a need for protection over privacy. This is essential, but safety is mandatory. You cannot promise absolute secrecy. If an adolescent is at risk of harm, safeguarding protocols and reporting concerns supersede confidentiality. Are we still together? Thank you very much. Confidentiality decision tree. Adolescent shares sensitive information. You need to check, is there a risk of harm to self, others, or sign of abuse or neglect? Check if there's no risk. Maintain confidentiality if there's no risk. Document non-identifying consents. Continue supporting the client. But if there is a risk, it means the limit is reached. Explain to the teen why you must report. Be transparent. Make it clear to the teen why you must report. Remember mandatory reporting. Form 22. We spoke about it, I think, last 2 weeks back. Notify a social worker or appropriate service. Document the disclosure and referral actions precisely. Next page. Here we are talking about translating theory into practice. The following three profiles represent real-world scenarios you will encounter. Review each clinical intake card to practice identifying warning signs, strategizing your approach, and determining referral needs based on the listen framework and safeguarding boundaries. Here we are given a table to show the observable scenario, the monospace profile tag, age baseline, the diagnostic workspace warning signs that you may detect while dealing with the client, and then action plan, which is listen strategy and referral. Remember the listen abbreviation that we have done just now recently. Next one. Here we are given a scenario, the quiet one. The client is age 16, normally outgoing. Scenario says suddenly stop talking to friends, misses school, and refuses to discuss why it's happening. We are given the diagnostic workspace for us to detect the warning signs. If you come across a scenario such as suddenly stop talking to friends, misses school, and refuses to discuss what is happening, what are the warning signs that could be detected? We are given sudden withdrawal, absenteeism, radical shift from baseline personality. Now we are coming up with strategy to approach strategy. Here they are using LIS from the word listen. Initiate safe conversation without demanding answers. Just create that safe space so that the client will be able to share, observe quietly, validate that it's okay not to talk right now. Sometimes clients don't want to talk, don't want to say anything. They just want you to show them that you are there with them. You are present. You are listening. You are observing. They are verbal and non-verbal behavior, verbal and non-verbal communication. What to avoid? Pitfalls to avoid. Avoid forcing them to speak. If they don't want to speak, just continue being there. Show them that support. It's not yet time to speak. Build that rapport, build that trust. They will definitely speak when the time is right. Avoid threatening them with school disciplinary action. Should there be a need, refer them. High potential for referral if absenteeism continues or if hopelessness is expressed. Document changes daily. Next one. Case number 2. This is the angry one, age 15, disciplinary risk. Scenario says becomes aggressive at school and is constantly being disciplined. At home, there is serious family conflict. Let's check or detect the warning signs on this scenario. Anyone would like to try? Anyone would like to try? Let's detect the warning signs. Based on the scenario whereby a 15-year-old becomes aggressive at school and is constantly being disciplined. At home, there is serious family conflict.
A warning sign here, as it does say, she has now become aggressive, too much anger, which might even lead to bullying in school, which is why Shazelle is now being disciplined in school.
Yes, thank you very much, Pule. Here we are given aggression, frequent conflict, environmental pressure. In bracket, they are saying family conflicts. With regard to approach, strategy, which come from listen, here they are dealing with TEN only. Remember, this is the disciplinary risk. Stay calm. De-escalate the immediate aggression. Ask about the pressure at home rather than focusing solely on the school infraction. Stay calm. De-escalate the immediate aggression. Ask about the pressure at home rather than focusing solely on the school infraction. What to avoid? Avoid falling into the behavioral trap, judging the aggression in isolation. Obviously, this aggression behavior is coming from somewhere. Escalating the conflict. Referral needs. Immediate notification to specialized social workers regarding the serious family conflict and potential safeguarding triggers. Case number 3, the online crisis, age 14, digital victimization. Being humiliated in a WhatsApp group and refuses to return to school. With regard to diagnostic workspace, what are the warning signs that could be detected? Cyberbullying victimization. Everyone is laughing about her because she was humiliated. Extreme emotional distress leading to school refusal. Just think everyone knows what I'm going through. You know, people saw that I was humiliated in a WhatsApp group. Approach strategy. Take their concerns seriously. Digital harm feels entirely real and physical to a 14-year-old. Explain what happens next regarding school safety. What to avoid. Avoid dismissing it as just internet drama because that is their experience. They experienced that. While it feels like it is just a drama to you, it's something else to them. Avoid telling them to just put the phone away. Referral needs likely requires school intervention regarding the bullying group, plus psychological support to rebuild peer confidence. I think when it comes to bullying, it's like, I don't know, in each and every school, there's forever incidents of bullying. Oh, the social work, the auxiliary social work's defining mantra. Don't only ask what is wrong with this teenager. Like you said, this is not actually a good question. Ask what might this teenager be going through. Obviously, there is a reason why people feel the way they are feeling, why people do whatever that they are doing. Thank you very much. I don't know if there's any question, any comment, any clarity seeking. If everyone is fine, then thank you very much. I guess it's end of our class. Thank you very much, everyone, for your attendance. Thank you very much, Lien.
Thank you, Lisbeth. And thank you everyone for joining the class. I hope
Yes.
you have a good evening.
Thank you very much.